and welcome to Season of War. Tonight we're back for another game of Age of Sigmar, an exciting one. Excited to see both these armies on the table again. Matt, you're back. Welcome back with your Soulblight Gravelords.
Yep. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked to bring them back to the table. So,
yep. Couple different additions to the army than what you were running last time. So different look. So that'll be exciting.
Yeah, less elite, no horses, lots of dogs.
Yep. Yeah, lots of dogs. But before we jump into the list, just want to say a big thank you to everyone for all your support of the channel. Whether you're just liking, sharing, subscribing, all that stuff means a ton. And everyone who goes a step further by joining our premium membership not only gets access to extra battle reports, and now we've set up our private Discord.
Yep.
But again, it's just the best way to support the channel, make this all possible. So thank you so much to everyone who helps out in that way. Mm-hmm. But looking at this game tonight, Matt, mission we're playing is Veins of Ghur. So again, the old Star Strike is the easiest way to describe it, but 3 objectives come down throughout the game, 1 in round 2 along the center line, and then along our quarter lines in round 3. And they're worth points equal to the battle round, which is really notable because if you're alive round 5 and your enemy isn't, the rest of the game almost doesn't matter.
Nope.
Because you're scoring 15 points for those objectives last round. So that could be wild. And it has been wild in the past for games on the channel. But why don't we get into the lists? Do you want to take us through your Soulblight first?
Yeah, so as Jordan said, I'm taking a much different one. Last time I took Castle. This go around I'm bringing Vicros with a bunch of new stuff. So just to go through my battle line really quick, I've got 2 units of 10 dogs. And I've got my signature 40 zombies. That's just kind of my thing. I personally just love running them as 40 zombies. And last thing to round up my foot slogging groups, I've got a unit of 20 Great Blade Graveguard.
Nice.
I've got them off the table. They're going to come in from a gravesite. I need them all where I want them to be pretty quick, and hopefully, if all goes right, you can see just what these guys can do. They're pretty beefy.
Pretty stabby.
They're very stabby, very stabby.
Yep.
And then to round up my list, I've got 4 heroes. Hopefully, you're gonna try to do some shenanigans with a non-monster hero. So I've got a Vampire Lord on foot. Then I've got my Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon.
Yep.
Pretty proud of this conversion.
Yeah, wonderfully converted up.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a Stormcast Dragon. It's the only good thing to do with the Stormcast Dragon. Then I'm bringing Manfred. I didn't bring him last time.
Nope.
So new to the channel for him. He's a sneaky boy. Doesn't benefit from the Vicros stuff, but I mean, he's still great on his own.
Yeah.
If all goes right, I should never die in close combat because at the beginning of the combat phase, you can just teleport anywhere on the board.
Exactly.
And then last but not least, can't take Vicros without Belladama. Yep. I brought her last time to the channel, and I think you pretty much saw what she can do. She buffs her own casting with Vicros. All Vicros vampires can re-roll their spells. So I'm going to be fishing for those 9+ for double.
That's awesome.
Double resolution.
Great spells too. But I just jumping into my list. So I'm obviously running Idoneth Deepkin tonight. I'm playing Futhon. Haven't done this on the channel in a little while.
This is old school.
Yeah, the big thing with Futhon, one is the tide flip. I'm not doing the tide flip mechanic, so I just get the round 4 run and charge instead of retreat and charge. But it does give me reroll 1s to hit on my turns 2 and 4. But also, notably, give me reroll 1s to wound on all my mounts. My mount attacks only, not the riders, but obviously here I just have the sharks and the turtles, so those are great on all of their weapons or their attacks, as well as the Italian King, and my little fish with my Eidolon. But my Eidolon is my general. He has the command trait to reroll 1s to wound as well, so hopefully I'll be pretty hitty here. I have 2 units of 10 thralls for battle line, a unit of 10 reavers finishing that out, and then as I mentioned, 2 units of 2 sharks, the Eidolon. The Italian King is actually, it's Volturnos, not an Italian King. So he'll still be able to use his command trait because he no longer has to be the general. Only on turn 3, only +1 to 3 units, but still can help.
It helps.
Yep. And yeah, Eidolon's general also has Arcane Tome and Flaming Weapon. And then rounding things out, I just have a Soul Strider off the board, just with a unit of 10 thralls right now, deep striking. That's everything for me, and it was all wrapped up in just a 1-drop battalion, battle regiment. You had battle reg and Warlord.
Battle reg and Warlord because I wanted the extra spells.
Yeah, so I outdropped you here, being a 1-drop, and pretty much with that, I'm gonna have choice. And Matt, I'm gonna give you first turn with Soulblight.
Sweet.
We'll jump into it, see how the game goes. Going right into it. Soulblight, turn 1.
The Soulblight battle tactic is Ferocious Advance. Belladama fails Heroic Leadership, and Volturnos uses Heroic Willpower. The Vampire Lord casts Mystic Shield on the Zombie Dragon. The Zombie Dragon casts Amethystin Pinions. Manfred casts Arcane Bolt. Belladama casts Under a Killing Moon. The Zombie Dragon deals 5 damage to the Reavers. The Graveguard use Forward to Victory but fail their charge. The Zombie Dragon stomps, dealing 3 mortal wounds to the Namarti Thralls. The Alopexes use All-Out Defense. The Zombie Dragon uses All-Out Attack and kills the Alopexes. The Namarti Thralls use All-Out Attack but deal no damage. The Gravelords complete their battle tactic, scoring 2 points.
All right, fast moving turn. I got some of my big hitters up up the board pretty quick.
Pretty quick.
Pretty good. I mean, pinions on on the Vampire Dragon. I mean, him going 20 inches without having to actually use your 1 roll.
Yep.
I mean, he's now has a 32-inch threat range, so it's pretty crazy.
And you used 31 inches.
I used 31 inches. So I fully planned on just tying up your Reavers and potentially your Thralls, because they do get buffed based on what they're going to be attacking. But then I ended up rolling 11, so I said, okay, well, time to go for the Sharks.
And then exactly pile in.
Pile in, did some work to them. So what ended up happening? I did it to the wound because you made some really good saves, especially on the Snapping Maw, which is D6.
And with cover, I'm +2 to save with all defense.
Yep.
So.
And what did I ended up getting 2 extra attacks because of his artifact, and he just kind of went in and did what he does. So.
Yeah, no, he's great. And just worth noting now, from my perspective, definitely was a little greedy in my deployment. So here, I can use my Thralls as screens. They're half their use, but they're also actually just a great unit. So here, I tried to just screen out with my Reavers, and so I could keep my Thralls safe. But I could have, been a little smarter. Now, even just leave my Sharks back a little bit further.
Yeah, but I mean, I rolled a massive charge roll. Like I needed to roll an 11 plus on the charge to get to one of your Sharks. So
risk I shouldn't have taken though, because if I could have been an inch or 2 back and been safer, and then you're just going in and killing the Reavers, and I'm fine with that.
Reavers or Thralls, yeah.
Yeah, it did really hurt the fact that you got into the Sharks, obviously. So a little unfortunate there, but.
And I was able to thin out your Reavers with the shot that came from the breath, so it kind of let me get around.
Losing 2 to battle shock or to coherency in a moment, and then.
So it all worked out. I wanted to get the Graveguards in for you guys. I really, really fished for the 9+ roll. Didn't happen, but that's okay. They're there.
And ready for that second wave threat. So you put Deepkin on the back foot already.
Which doesn't happen often, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
I'm so used to Deepkin being in my face.
Great thing to do against Deepkin is just put the pressure on, right? So, yeah, we'll be jumping into Idoneth Deepkin turn 1.
Perfect.
The Deepkin battle tactic is bring it down. The Eidolon fails heroic leadership and the zombie dragon uses their finest hour. The Eidolon casts Flaming Weapon. The Soul Scryer enthralls Deep Strike using Finder of Ways. The Alopexes deal 2 damage to the zombies. The Leviathan deals 4 damage to the zombies. The Leviathan deals 7 mortal wounds in total with its crushing charge. The Leviathan roars the Graveguard, and Manfred roars the Eidolon. The Alopexes use all-out attack and deal 16 damage to the Graveguard. Woo! The zombies deal 11 mortal wounds to the Leviathan. The Eidolon deals 5 damage to Manfred. The Graveguard deal 5 damage to the Alopexes. Volturnos deals 16 damage to the zombies. The Eidolon uses all its defense and Manfred deals 5 damage to him. The Leviathan finishes off the zombies. The Deepkin fail their battle tactic and score no points.
All right, so Idoneth Deepkin turn 1. I killed a bunch of 1 wound stuff.
Actually all of my 1 wound stuff, so.
Not with my thralls, surprisingly, that's their specialty, but here, really, I was in a tough position, I felt like, just with the positioning. No matter what I went into and hit, the rest of it's going to be able to counterattack if you win priority here. I was originally like, okay, I can take out the zombie dragon, potentially screen with the Reavers, but just with like the bodies and the base sizes, I would have had to just like cover, around your zombie dragon or your vampire lord, and you just would have still been able to hit back on winning priority or whatnot. And I know obviously the Graveguard can rinse stuff. The zombies are good, as even we saw here.
With two Graveguard almost killed a shark.
Yeah, so. Exactly. And so basically I was originally thinking, okay, maybe I'd go for bring it down and take him out. As soon as I did bring it down, you did finest hour, so was a huge deterrent for me. I have rent 2, so I'm only bringing you back to your base save if I roar you. If not, you're still on a 2-up save.
Yep.
So it just wasn't worth it there. Decided to pivot. It gives up my battle tactic, but on this mission, that's only 2 points. And again, we were talking about how 15 points at the end of the game is huge, so hopefully I can survive and surmount that difference later on. But that's pretty much where things are at. I score no points because there's no objectives, and I fail my battle tactic.
Yeah, so we figure out where the first point drops.
Yep. So we'll go low end over here towards the camera. So it's 7. If we roll 7, it's in the middle. Lower, it's on this side.
Yep.
Higher over here. 6. So low end. Yep. Right over there.
I'm
So
okay
it's,
with
yeah,
that.
gonna pop down right there.
Yep.
Which we will get in a second. And other than that, it's priority. Oh, it was looking like a 6, but it's a 5.
Oh, it's my
That's a
first loss in
1.
Prio.
Yeah, first loss on Prio on the channel.
I was due.
Yeah. So we're gonna take the turn with Deepkin, going into round 2. Flood Tide, not High Tide yet, but yeah, jump right into it. Going into Deepkin, turn 2.
The Deepkin battle tactic is Ferocious Advance. Volturnos uses Heroic Leadership, and Manfred uses their Finest Hour. The Eidolon fails to cast Flaming Weapon. The Vampire Lord uses Redeploy, moving 2 inches. The Reavers deal 1 damage to the Zombie Dragon. The Leviathan deals no damage. The Alopexes deal 3 damage to Manfred. The Soul Scryer uses Seeker of Souls on the Zombie Dragon. The Leviathan deals 1 mortal wound to the Zombie Dragon with its Crushing Charge. The Eidolon heals 1 wound from crashing upon the foe. The Leviathan roars and the Zombie Dragon uses Titanic Duel. The Leviathan uses all out attack and deals 3 damage to the Zombie Dragon. Wah wah. The Eidolon uses all out defense and Belladonna deals no damage. The Dire Wolves deal 2 damage to Volturnos. The Namarti Thralls use the Inspired Triumph and kill the Zombie Dragon. The Alopexes deal no damage to Manfred. Manfred deals 9 damage to the Alopexes and heals 2 wounds from the Hunger. Belladonna uses all out defense, and the Eidolon deals 5 damage to her, and 5 to the wolves. Volturnos finishes off Belladonna and deals 5 damage to the wolves. The Idoneth complete their battle tactic and kill a monster, scoring 3 points.
All right, so Idoneth Deepkin, turn 2. Pretty good.
Very good.
Winning priority, obviously big here. With how much pressure you put on me at the start, this allowed me to, I took the hit back, and then got to kind of hit first, which obviously just let me kind of pull ahead on the table right now. The only thing that didn't go my way, obviously a lot did, is after killing the Zombie Dragon, I wanted to pile my Sharks in and finish off Manfred, who had 4 wounds. Sharks went in, did no damage. How it goes between all that stuff. So he didn't finish it. Yep, and then he healed 2 at the end because he killed a shark. And I knew it was kind of a risk, but I couldn't kill everything. I thought that was a pretty good shot, and actually probably should have been able to do 4 damage, but it was his finest hour.
Yep.
So, you know, that happens. Dice are swinging and major saves, but holding the objective helps and denies that 2 points to me. But again, playing for late game, trying to deal the damage so I can take the board later.
Yep.
I do take or complete my battle tactic here, Ferocious Advance. Super convenient on like the run and charge turn with IDK. That's a good one. And that also then, with killing your zombie dragon, got a bonus point for the monster. So I'll store a couple points this turn.
You'll
And
get 3, yep.
Yep, putting the pressure on you now.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big turn.
Yeah.
I lost Belladama. That's my magic presence there. I lost my zombie dragon, which is a zombie dragon, as we saw. He made very quick work of a lot of things.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
But, the game isn't over yet. I've still got play.
Yep.
You've got some really hurt things.
Yep.
And again, like we said, I've got potential of things coming back.
Yep.
So, let's give her a shot.
Yeah, going into Soulblight Gravelords, turn 2.
The Soulblight battle tactic is Bring It Down. The Vampire Lord uses Heroic Leadership, and Volturnos uses their Finest Hour. The Dire Wolves return 3 wounds from the gravesite. Manfred casts Wind of Death, but is unbound. Manfred casts Arcane Bolt. The Vampire Lord casts Amaranthine Orb at Volturnos, but he ignores it. Manfred unleashes the Arcane Bolt, dealing 3 mortal wounds and killing the Alopex. Manfred and the Leviathan both use Titanic Duel. The Leviathan uses all-out defense, but Manfred finishes it off, later healing 1 wound from the hunger. The Vampire Lord uses all-out defense, and Volturnos deals 1 damage to him. The Dire Wolves and Vampire Lord all fail to deal any damage. The Eidolon deals 6 damage to the Wolves. The Gravelords hold 1 objective, complete their battle tactic with a monster, and kill a monster for 6 points.
All right, well, I mean, decent enough round. I got your turtle out of the way.
Yep, and the shark as well.
And the sharks. I did bring it down, scored my objective with Manfred, who is a monster.
Yep.
So I got a lot of the bonus points, and I have the objective still.
Yep. So 6 points for the round,
6 points for the round, yeah.
Yep.
Not a lot left, but I killed 2 units, went to a 3 up to bring something back and rolled a 2. That was sweet. That was a good time. And did very little, actually no wounds to Volturnos.
Yeah. Did Finest Hour there.
Yeah, and then you did your spell shrug.
Yep.
So that hurt. But still in the game though. Like I'm not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. So and I still have a couple rounds of potentially, hopefully, maybe bringing stuff back.
Yeah, here you were +2 because you killed 2 units.
Killed 2 units, yeah. So I went to a 5 up, went to a 3 up, and then I rolled a deuce.
Rolled a 2, so that hurts.
Yep.
And we're just into round 3 priority now.
Round 3
first.
objectives. So I'll do for mine.
Yep.
So
just low towards the camera.
Low towards the camera. Okay. 2d6. So high side goes over here.
Yep.
Okay. So for you.
And then myself. Oh, 9
high side.
Also ends over there.
Okay.
So far from both of us.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And priority now.
Now priority. This is a big priority for, I think, both of us, to be completely honest with you. So.
Well, that's a 6 and I win ties.
Back-to-back priority losses for the guy. All right, that's okay though.
Yeah, sounds good. Gonna jump into Deepkin, turn 3. Let's do it.
All right.
The Deepkin battle tactic is aggressive expansion. The Soul Scryer and Vampire Lord both use heroic leadership. The Reavers use Rally, but return no models. The Eidolon casts Flaming Weapon. The Soul Scryer uses At the Double. Manfred stomps, dealing 3 mortal wounds to the Thralls. Manfred teleports using Mortarch of Night. The Wolves use all out defense, but the Eidolon still deals 13 damage to them. The Wolves and Thralls both use Inspiring Presence. The Deepkin control 2 objectives, but fail their battle tactic, scoring 6 points.
All right, so Deepkin, turn 3. Tough, actually. Manfred, I mean, he only had 7 wounds left, but just being that, his teleport mechanic, I knew you were to teleport away, and all my shooting is gone, which is the best way to deal with Manfred.
Yep.
So he's going to be a little annoying now. Here, I didn't actually think it was going to be a problem. I went for aggressive expansion. There were other ones I could have done for battle tactics, but I'm just like, okay, I can move these guys here, 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 take all 3 objectives, and zone out your teleport. Ended up just not measuring this properly. When I went into movement, realized I couldn't get as far as I thought into the ranges. Yep. And then with Manfred teleporting, like that's just a costly mistake because he takes that objective because he's worth 5 bottles. And yeah, that's rough. Denies me, obviously, not only those 3 points for the objective, but 2 for my battle tactic. So that's huge, that mistake. But I do get 3 points for each of these 2 objectives.
Yep.
So 6 points for the round. So not the end of the world, but that's it for Deepkin, 6 points, and we'll go into Soulblight, turn 3.
The Soulblight battle tactic is Conquer. The Vampire Lord uses Heroic Leadership, and Volturnos fails Heroic Recovery. The Dire Wolves return a model from the gravesite. Manfred casts Decrepify on the Eidolon. Manfred casts Fading Vigor on the Eidolon. The Vampire Lord casts Emerald Life Swarm and returns a Dire Wolf, then returns another at the end of the hero phase. The Dire Wolves use At the Double. Manfred stomps, but deals no damage. Manfred teleports using Mortarch of Night. The Gravelords hold 2 objectives and complete their battle tactic, scoring 8 points.
All right, well, this is the grind. This is the grind of...
It's all about points now. And
and like you said, the beginning of the battle report, holding those points later on in the game is big. I'm not getting tabled yet, but I'm still very, very quickly running out of resources. I once again failed to bring back a unit of something, but I still managed to hold on to this point still, the back point that we contested last turn. And then I did Manfred shenanigans to do my Conquer. I was measuring to see if I could move them over there and then charge. It was going to be a big charge, and then I it's late. We've had a grind of a game, and then I realized, oh yeah, Manfred can just teleport anyways, and then
because you charged, you still got the read.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing that people, when you're playing against Manfred, you really need to look out for it. Because even though he teleports out, if he makes a charge, because the way sequencing works in the core rules, if you make a charge, that counts, and you can still do your pile-in. So keep an eye out for that if you're playing against them.
It allowed you to take this because otherwise you normally you landed outside of 9, not on the objective, and then
you did a fantastic job of making sure that Manfred, like last turn or when you were going, that Manfred couldn't teleport over there and take it. But then with the charge, I can do it. So I was able to go in, stomp, do nothing, but it was potential peel off a couple wounds here or there. I didn't, but I mean it was worth a shot. And then I got him over there, and then so I mean like. It's the grind. I would have loved to have brought back 10 Graveguard, or actually, honestly, to be fair, probably at this point, I would probably do the 20. I don't know yet, but maybe the 20 zombies just to have more bodies. And I'm just trying to keep as many bases on the board as I possibly can. So Emerald Life Swarm and healed up.
Yeah, you brought a bunch back.
Brought two back
with Life Swarm, and then another just from the Deathless and
another one, in that unit, and then I just healed these guys up to full. But thankfully the wolves are very fast, so I auto-ran them their 6, and I was able to hold this point because you only count as 2 models. And I think honestly at this point, it kind of sucks to say, but I'm kind of going to ignore that end of the board.
Well, the thing, it's just obviously the teleport mobility is huge. Hurting me right now. In terms, that's what, with the objective placement. It's definitely stretching me, and I gotta try and boogie, but I can't abandon that side because of Manfred. So.
Because I ended up getting 6 points because I had 2 objectives, and then
2 for the battle tactic.
2 for the battle tactic.
8 for the round. So
8 for the round. So that puts me at 16 with not a lot of stuff left, but it's there, and the priority's got to go my way once today. So.
You had the last couple of games, so we'll just jump into it now. Round 4, I'm winning ties. That would have been a 5, cocked. It's a 4.
All right.
You got a chance.
Come on, baby. I'm not going to use your Season of War dice. I probably should now, but...
Oh, it's cocked.
Would have been a 5. That's another one. Okay. Well,
we'll go.
Here we go.
Take the turn, see if I can do some scoring. Jumping into Idoneth Deepkin, turn 4.
The Deepkin battle tactic is Savage Spearhead. The Soul Scryer fails heroic leadership, which the Vampire Lord succeeds at. The Eidolon casts Metamorphosis. The Soul Scryer fails his chant for Curse. The Emerald Life Swarm returns 1 wolf. The Dire Wolves redeploy, moving 2 inches. Volturnos uses at the double. The Soul Scryer uses Seeker of Souls on the Dire Wolves. The Eidolon fails to stomp. The Dire Wolves use all-out defense. The Eidolon uses all-out attack and deals 12 damage to the Dire Wolves. The Volturnos finishes off the Dire Wolves. The Deepkin control 2 objectives and achieve their battle tactics, scoring 10 points.
All right, so Idoneth Deepkin, turn 4. Just trying to reinforce the objectives and threaten them all. Couldn't pressure this one enough. I couldn't pressure both of them. Decided to stay over there, threw Volti across because it's round 4, run in charge again. So auto run 6, he's moving 20 inches, obviously sped across the board. And helped finish off that unit of Dire Wolves, which is big because I take that, obviously, I take the objective, but taking out the unit just is less bodies for you. I know you, you get to roll your...
Speaking of bodies,
bring back the unit.
It's back to a 5-up because I didn't do
Yep,
anything.
we haven't rolled it yet for my turn.
Ooh, let's go.
That's a 1.
I rolled 4 ones in a row.
Not yet. Again, yeah, couldn't take this objective for Manfred. I hold that one, get my battle tactic. They're worth 4 right now, so that's 10 points for the round. So that's pretty much it, though. Yeah, we'll jump into Soulblight, turn 4.
The Soulblight battle tactic is broken ranks. Manfred fails heroic recovery, and the Eidolon fails heroic leadership. The Eidolon dispels the Emerald Lifeswarm. The Vampire Lord casts Invigorating Aura, returning another direwolf. Manfred casts Wind of Death, dealing 2 mortal wounds to the Reavers. Manfred casts Arcane Bolt. Manfred unleashes the Arcane Bolt and kills the Reavers. Manfred stomps, dealing 3 mortal wounds to the Soul Scryer. Manfred finishes off the Soul Scryer and then heals 3 wounds. Ten Graveguard are returned from Endless Legions.
Well, it's a game.
It's a very tight game.
It's a game. So I needed a better run from my wolves, but I was really nervous to spend the command point.
You end up taking, you hold on to this point.
I keep that point.
But you didn't take that one.
Yeah.
Big thing though, you did do your battle tactic with a monster.
Yeah, so I ended up getting 7 points.
7 points this round,
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but the the highlight of the hour, not really, but I mean, it took forever to do.
Oh, yeah.
I got 10 Graveguards back. So that's one of the reasons why I kind of said it was a game, because as we saw over here in one of the combats, I think it was into some sharks, 2 guys did 5 damage.
Oh yeah, they
to a
do
shark.
work. Yep.
So if I get this priority and these Graveguard come in
Could be
do
spicy.
stuff, things could happen. Yep. And I've got there's enough on the board now where I'm still nervous, simply because I need this priority. But it's there.
Well, I think it's gonna be a close game, but we'll jump into it.
Yep.
3. That's a 1.
All right.
So I'll take priority, but I don't know. I don't know if I can store enough, but we'll store everything we can. Jumping right into it. Going into Idoneth Deepkin. Turn 5.
The Deepkin battle tactic is broken ranks. The Soul Scryer fails heroic leadership, which the Vampire Lord succeeds at. Thralls rally, but return no models. The Eidolon casts Metamorphosis. The Thralls use At the Double. The Direwolves use Redeploy, moving 2 inches. The Eidolon roars at the Direwolves. The Eidolon deals 11 damage to the Direwolves, leaving one with 1 wound. Volturnos finishes off the last Direwolf. The Deepkin hold 2 objectives and complete their battle tactic, scoring 12 points.
All right, so Deepkin turn 5. Again, just trying to do everything. Went for Metamorphosis to get the bonus point, but I left the wolves on 1 wound, one with 1 wound left with the Eidolon. So 1 wound off getting that bonus point. But it is round 5. I store 5 points for each of the objectives. Thankfully to Volturnos, who wasn't in range for his sword attacks. Got that, last wound on the wolves, so I do get the battle tactic though. So I'm scoring 12 points here.
But yeah, but the grind of not giving that extra point might actually come a long way.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be really tight here. So with that, we're just jumping into the bottom final turn of the game.
Yeah. Oh, and I didn't bring anything back again.
Bottom of round 5, going to Soulblight Gravelords' turn.
The Soulblight battle tactic is aggressive expansion. The Vampire Lord uses heroic recovery, healing 3 wounds, and the Eidolon fails heroic leadership. The Graveguard use at the double. The Gravelords hold 2 objectives and complete their battle tactic, scoring 12 points.
All right, well, we kind of went into some shenanigans that we didn't need to do. But
the quickest turn.
Yeah, we just kind of...
Just mathed it out. We were just looking at the difference and...
Yeah, I mean, I only needed 10 to do it, and...
well, you just needed... If you held 2 points, it was enough.
Yeah, and that was 10 points, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, Graveguard didn't kill anything, but they got me a point by coming back.
Just auto run 6, move 10 inches.
Yep. And Manny just held that, and then with aggressive expansion, I also achieved my, grand tactic, I achieved it. I think you did too.
Yep,
Irrelevant,
line,
but I mean, it's, for like a team event or something like that, it's cool to see like how close
always
they were.
important, 3 points at the end.
Big time, right?
So you are getting 12 here on your turn as well.
Yep.
You had, I think it was 23. You had a 5-point lead, so you maintain that 5-point lead at the end of the round.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a great game, really good one, really close.
Grindy. Really, really grindy and
tough. Yeah.
Tactically, I mean, like honestly, that was high level competitive game, I think.
Oh yeah.
In terms of everything, so.
Yeah, few little things. Obviously, in hindsight, you're always think of the mistakes and want to highlight those. For myself, just looking at one, I already talked about my deployment right away.
Yep.
Like, took a risk that I could have just been a little safer there, even only using my thralls as that front screen, reavers. But otherwise, yeah, I think just came to, I just couldn't deny here. Like, even, I had to kill that. I have all the bodies on there I could on the objective. Really, big story for me was losing a bunch of my speedy stuff.
Early.
Meant my Namarti were like my late game units to score objectives, and they're just not fast enough.
Yeah.
And here, especially with the objectives coming down on the far end of the table, that teleport, obviously the mobility advantage comes up big, and exactly having those units killed.
There was just a lot of things that kind of went. I don't know. Like
things that go both ways.
Yeah.
But the mobility thing was huge in conjunction with the where the objectives came down. That really hurt me. Think of it, if this was in the center, I have 15 thralls coming over into Manfred. He's got to teleport around again.
Yep.
He can't. I can hold these 2 points, but coming down here, that was rough.
And then I don't know. The gamble of the Vampire Lord on Dragon early, it paid off, I think. I lost him early.
You put pressure on me.
I lost him early, but I also forced you to put a lot into him.
And what else? Yeah, Deepkin's fast enough that they can get into it. I think it was, good play. And you had the reinforcements there. If you had one priority on turn 2, he was still alive then. He would have been going into all the meat of my army and whatnot.
Still alive, had full wounds. So yeah, but like I said, it was a gamble. But losing him wasn't it sucked. Don't get me wrong. Like losing a 435 point model in the army kind of hurts. But the gamble of throwing him up there as fast as I did, it paid off because I had other things in the army. Like Manfred. Manfred is so good. He's not as killy as a Vampire Lord on Dragon, but I mean, just him teleporting, him charging, and then doing something, and then teleporting and piling in, which is, he's just tactically so good.
Great tech piece.
And for 380 points.
No, he's been good. He was the MVP of this match, hands down.
100%.
Gotta say, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, even with how he bracketed and stuff, it was irrelevant because the thing that makes him so good is he's probably one of the best screens I have in the book, and which is kind of weird to say because it's Manfred, and you're like, why do you want to do that? Because he should never die to, he will never die to combat.
Well, except for if you can tag something else and pile into him, like I did with those 2 sharks, he was on 4 wounds and I didn't finish him off. Man,
should never die to combat.
Yes, but that I totally forgot about that. That huge moment, he was on 4 wounds. That he 100% won you this game. Denied me 5 points just on that one objective.
Yep, just on that teleport. Yep.
And was the one getting you both these objectives. He probably accounted for at least half of your victory points in this match.
Oh, 100%.
Just shows the utility of him.
Yeah. I mean, he probably half of my victory points.
Yeah.
It was Manfred, and
it's really cool piece.
Yeah, and the best thing about it, I think, everything, his War Scroll is just simply good, but Mortark's also allowing them to have the lore of the or the Death Mage, being a giant debuff piece and then getting out a dodge, so saving some things. Because it took you that much longer to kill my wolves. You still did it, but it still put a little bit more resources into them that you might not have accounted for. He's so good.
Yeah, he was great here, and it really highlights him in this match.
Yeah, I'm glad I was able to show him. Sadly, I didn't really get to show the Graveguard, but that's also that's also the kind of the good thing about this book is there's so many distraction carnifexes, as you would
threats,
call it. Yeah. So it's like you have to deal with something. Yeah. So you had to take out the 20 Graveguard, because if you didn't touch him, it would have been like
if I left them alive, killed the dragon, even if I killed the dragon, and you win priority, it's like they're killing 2-3 units that they touch.
They're 2 wounds apiece, +1 to wound, mortal wounds on 6s, exploding 6s with Belladama in there. They're terrifying.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why I went for them first. Good. I like the list. You have 3 threats, 3 big threats, and then also Manfred. It's like you can account for 3 threats. That's typically what you expect in an opponent's army. Often, 2 or 3, but that 4th one, it's like. Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah, I'm not going to threaten your army, but I'm going to threaten the board.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But again, that's it. We'll wrap things up here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this match. And lastly, if you want to help support the channel, get access to extra content, an extra battle report every week, join our Discord, all that. You can join our premium membership by hitting the join button below this video. Check it out if you do or don't. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you soon in another battle report.